Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Money Life Invest. Hope you're doing well. And if you are coming for the first time, please hit that subscribe button and like my videos. With that, let me get started. So this video I'm making to talk about, if you have extra money, should you be paying off that mortgage or you're better off investing? This is a $1 million question a lot of people have in their mind when they are done with their obligations, all the obligations, which I will get into shortly. They always get into this dilemma. Should I be should I should I be paying off that mortgage, or I should put some money in the investing? So without further ado, let's get started. So before we go and answer that $1 million question, um, for me, I want to have this checklist, basically a checklist done before I get into that, before answering that question. So basically, what is it? So this is a there is a 6 steps for personal finance, 6 important important points that one should answer before I can I we can think about, should they be paying off that mortgage or investing. So what are those? The first primary thing is, are you saving enough? So this may be little like off. What do you mean by save? Like we are all saving, like, so but oftentimes, before even you talk about investing, you need to have a habit of saving. So that's the primary steps when it comes to investing, or paying off that extra money towards your mortgage. So the first thing is, okay, are you saving money? So if you're saying yes, I've been saving whatever, like, percentage of money from my paycheck, then you're good. The second thing, are you paying off your high interest debts? So high interest debt may be credit cards, payday loans, or anything that is more than whatever bank has to offer, right? Like anything that has high interest, right? So are you paying off that? Like, are you still, have that, and then you're thinking about, paying off your mortgage and or investing, right? So if your answer is no, no, I still have my debt, a high interest debt that I need to pay off, then you're better off paying that first, right? So that's the third one is, do you have emergency fund in place? So uh, this is typically anywhere, like 3 months to 6 months of your disposable income, depending upon lifestyle. Some people say 1 year. I will leave it to you. As long as if you have an emergency fund, that's fine, right? This is something you can tap in worst case, if you have to lose your job, you don't have anything else, you can tap into this until you find the other job, right? So if you're answering yes, I do have an emergency fund, then perfect. You're almost like 25-30% of that population, who who's already ahead of this, personal finance and investing game. So good luck, good job. um now now, like, if you're saying no, I don't have it, I don't have the emergency fund, then my suggestion would be, you better off first making sure you have this fund in place rather than thinking about paying this mortgage or investing, right? It's intuitive enough. These are like common s- common sense when it comes to personal finance, but often overlooked by people, right? So therefore, like, before we answer that question, it is very important that we go through this. So now, let's say you're good until point three. Now let's talk about life insurance. So this is another one, another item when it comes to personal finance. People tend to, I think, it's kind of like new, or like sometimes people are like, not thinking about all of this. So for example, if you're given, if you're working and your employer provides some sort of an insurance, people think that that's good enough. But if you really go into the employer insurance, they typically provide like any 2 to 3 times your salary. So but the question is that enough for your loved ones if you something has to happen to you? So typically this is where the misunderstanding happens. So the life insurance is usually, I'm not talking about like normal life insurance, I'm talking about usually a term life insurance, which is typical in these days. Of course there are other types of insurance out there, but I would, I would suggest life insurance. So basically, the insurance where I would get the insurance for like my financial goal, and then pay the premium regularly, right? So that, so something has to happen, this term life insurance will cover it, right? So the this point is the check this point is to check, are you do you have a life insurance? If your answer is yes, then you're good. Again, you're ahead of the game. But if not, you should consult with you know either you can research by yourself, or like you can meet your financial advisor and then discuss about life insurance options, and they may be able to guide you, right? So uh, if you if you're saying, okay, don't worry, I already have the life insurance, good. So next step is, do you have this regular 10 to 15% um, you know invest retirement investment ongoing, right? Saving is one thing, investing is another thing, right? Like, so are you regularly investing some money, right? If you're saying yes, I do 10% of my salary into investment, good. So you're actually great, you're doing really great here. um right? So if not, I think this time to think about putting that money towards this, right? So that's, so instead of thinking of paying off the mortgage and investing, first let's try to set aside some money towards your retirement income, right? So now you're saying, I'm all good until 5. Now the next question is, this may or may not be relevant to some of you may not have children, so then you're fine. But if you have a children, like, you need to think about, do you have you thought about any investment for them, like, for school educations, whatever, right? Like, for their future, right? If you're saying yes, we do, then you're fantastic. At this point, you should pat on your on your back, have some beer, and then enjoy, and then hit that like button, right? So so if your answer is as to all these six personal finance checklists, then you're great. So this is where you come to a point where you're saying, now I have done all these six obligations. I would say obligation because, see, when you think this personal finance as an obligation, then you have to do it, right? Of course, it's not an obligation, but in my view, I always think this is an obligation, right? Now, getting back to, so if you're saying, I have done all these six obligations, so but still I'm left with some money, um, am I supposed to pay that mortgage off, or should I be better off investing, right? So before I get into what I think would be a better option for you guys, let's see what the expert has to